It's wonderful to welcome Becca Bartlett on the show once again. This is her third appearance this year. She recently came out with a new single. It's titled Wrong, and we're going to talk about it. How are you today, Becca? Thank you for joining the show.
I'm great. Thanks for having me back. I'm really excited to have a chat today.
Oh, yeah. And I'm very excited to talk about the song too. I believe it came out on the 19th or the 20th of May, so just a few days ago. So,
It was May 19th.
yeah. What has been the reception of the song thus far?
I think it's gone really well. I recently it had its radio debut on Jigs and Reels Radio. And we got some beautiful comments about that, people saying that they really enjoyed it and that they wanted to hear it live. I've also gotten some really lovely messages. That's the part that means the most to me, of people saying that they relate to the song and they really needed it in their life. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's been really good so far, and it's only been a few days, right? So I'm excited to see where it goes next.
Wonderful. Yeah, and I believe the past weekend was your first weekend at the East Coast Music Awards, ECMA. So tell me how that went.
That was a couple weekends ago,
Oh,
actually, and
right,
it
yeah.
was amazing. Such a great experience to be in so many rooms with amazing musicians. I performed with my good friend Jenny Mallard at her showcase and just got to take it all in. My favorite part was actually the unscheduled jam sessions. That, of course, if you have that many musicians in a room, a jam or two is about to break out. So,
Mhm.
yeah, there were some really meaningful moments. I took a lot away from it.
Let's see. So today's the 23rd of May. So you're performing with Jenny on the show on the 30th. Um
Yes, yeah,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
really excited.
do say hi to Jenny for me. She's a good friend, and I got a CD of her album. I believe Into the Deep. Yeah, that's the
Yep,
title, and it's a wonderful album too.
for sure.
Mhm. Um, yeah, tell me about the song. How did it come about?
So the song Wrong is really the song Wrong. That's a good rhyme. This song is really kind of meaningful to me because it was one of the first songs that I wrote from my own true personal experience. So, a lot of the songs I wrote before that started out with things I was experiencing, emotions I had, but they weren't 100% me. They were mostly written for the love of songwriting. But this one was very raw, based on a number of things that have kind of happened to me in my life and a number of things that I'd been seeing people go through. Um, and it's basically a song about a relationship, whether that be a romantic relationship, a friendship, or some other relationship where you're given much less than you deserve, but you think that's all you can get. And you think that, that is what you deserve because you're made to feel unworthy. And it's about kind of breaking out of that cycle and realizing what actually is right for you and how there's a whole world of people who can treat you so much better out there. And you just have to break away from that hurtful situation. So it's a really meaningful song in that sense, where I feel like it's something, unfortunately, a lot of people can relate to.
Mhm. Yeah, I share the same sentiments. I've been in a few romantic relationships that didn't go so well previously, so I understand how that feels. Um,
Yeah.
so I wonder, in writing the song, do you expect that people would find the sentiments relatable?
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I think, unfortunately, a lot of people, especially women, but of course, not only women, will find themselves, especially if they have any sort of insecurities or any sort of mental health things going on, they'll find themselves in a situation where they're not exactly sure what they deserve. And people will take advantage of that. It's really sad, and we want to think the best of people, but there are some people out there who will say, well, this person doesn't know their worth. I can get away with treating them less than they deserve. And I really hope that people can hear this song and know that they're not alone in being treated like that, and hopefully even break away from those situations if they're in them, knowing that there's so much better out there.
Mhm. Yeah, that's wonderful. Um, so you mentioned that your song was selected in the Junior Music section of the 2024 Arts and Letters Awards. So tell me about the story behind that.
It was, yeah, that was a fantastic honor. The Arts and Letters Awards are a fantastic organization here. They award many categories in the arts, including media arts, visual arts, theater arts, music. And this was my first time submitting a song. So I wasn't expecting anything, but I was really excited to have my song win in the junior arts or the junior music category. Alongside Summer Bennett, actually, is
Mhm.
another
Cool.
musical artist from Newfoundland. And we both got to perform at the gala and both got to accept the awards. So that was really cool.
Yeah. I've talked to Summer a few times on this podcast. I'll tell her you said hi. She's wonderful as well.
Absolutely.
Mhm. Yeah. So tell me about the recording process of Wrong, the song.
Wrong was actually recorded about 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, it was a while ago. It's interesting for me to listen back now and hear kind of how far I've come since it was first recorded, how fresh the emotions were, which is a little bit tough because I look back on it and I know that I'm, a little bit better now. I've learned a lot more. Um, but also knowing, like looking back and being proud of how far it's come with the production and how I perform it now, a lot stronger. So I recorded it with my brother, David Christopher Shell. He is a really fantastic producer, and this was our first time really working together on something. And we recorded it in his room with four sound panels just like around me. I was in this little tiny space with a microphone. And we recorded it up there in a few days. I traveled up to Ontario. And then for the past couple of years, on and off, we've been working on it, adding harmonies, making sure it sounded just right to come out. So it's been a process, but I'm glad it's finally out because it really is something that has spanned over a long time and shown a lot of my journey.
Mhm. That's wonderful. So it's a total DIY experience.
It was, yeah.
Mhm. And so you mentioned that you recorded the song 2 years ago. So I wonder why the delay from getting it recorded to actually releasing it.
I think a lot of the delay came in the fact that while it was where it was a DIY project, it was something that we were doing really for fun and something to learn, for him to learn how to work on my voice. He works on a lot of his own songs. He's a very talented musician as well. So it was new for him to learn how to work on a voice like mine and musicianship like mine. And yeah, over the years, I think we've both been very busy and we've both been trying to find the right sound for it. It was hard to get the right sound. And with a song that's so precious and meaningful like that, you have to make sure that it sounds just right to convey the emotion that's in the lyrics and that's in the singing. So we figured that it's better to wait and have a good, polished, finished product than to try to push it out when we didn't feel it was ready.
Mhm. So when you were recording the songs, were the emotions that you described as well as conveyed in the song, were they immediate or were they like meditate over some time?
I feel like I wrote this song a little while after these experiences had actually happened. Like I said, it wasn't just one experience that inspired me to write this song. It was a way that I had been treated a little bit throughout my experience in junior high and high school. Part of it is about a romantic relationship, but part of it is about a friendship as well, where I was told that, I was a bit too much and thus I shouldn't talk so loud or I shouldn't give so much of my input, which was really hurtful from someone I thought really cared about me. Um, so when I started writing this song, I remember sitting at the piano and I would have to stop like every 5 minutes to cry because I was just realizing that like I knew that those people were wrong for treating me that way, but I never realized just how wrong they were and how much I wanted to prove to them how strong I actually was and how I realized what I deserve. And yeah, those emotions really came through as I was writing this song and as I was performing it. And even now when I perform it, I look at it a little bit differently because at the time it was something that was very painful. The lyrics say, in time, I might be someone you don't recognize, past all these lonely, aching, sleepless nights. And now I get to look back on it and say, I really am past that. I really am past that experience. So when I sing it now, I do feel a little bit of pain, yeah, but I definitely feel pride too and strength.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, and to your point, I can understand how you feel in that I myself am a pretty sentimental person. I listen to a lot of music with highs and lows emotions, and it is often the case that I often get told that I'm too much too. I'm one of those people who what's the idiom? Wears his heart on his sleeves, and I can imagine that you're one of those people too, both in as a songwriter and as a day-to-day living person.
Absolutely. I feel that I've come to realize that the people who aren't like that and the people that don't express their emotions fully and like to hold back and feel more power being mean than being kind, they're the ones that are actually losing out, and I honestly feel sorry for them. I might be a little bit awkward sometimes. I might come off strange to people. I might come off as too emotional, too loving, too much, too, into music, into my friends. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's really something that's wonderful to be. And if it's too much for someone, then you just have to go find the people who it's enough for. They'll welcome it with open arms. So yeah, and then I really feel bad for those people because if they don't want too much, then what they're going to get is not enough.
I wonder, since recording the songs, have you found a better either romantic and friend situation than it was?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm really happy now, especially with the people I spend my time with. I have a wonderful relationship with someone who sees all of me, who loves my music, who loves my big emotions, who has big emotions like me, and who would never try to make me settle for less than I deserve. I feel like he gives me more than I deserve, but we try not to talk like that because that's what gets this whole thing started in the first place. And also in terms of friends, in terms of everybody I surround myself with in my life, I feel like they're very good, genuine people who love the same way as I do, who are creative like I am. And I'm able to spot people who don't fit into that now. I'm able to look at people who might mistreat me or mistreat others down the line and be like, I don't want you in my life. I don't want to start a friendship or relationship with you because you're not the type of person who's going to enrich my life. And that's something I'm very grateful for because it takes a while to get there.
Yes, I think so too. And in regards to your band, the Paper Canoes, are you friends with them, or are you guys just musicians playing with each other?
We're best friends. The paper canoes actually started because it basically through Owen, who
Mm.
is one of our singers and our guitarist, and he was individually good friends with me, Evan, and Mason. So me and Owen have been best friends since probably the seventh grade. We met in junior high. He met Evan through school. Did he meet him through school? I'm not sure. He met Evan. And then he met Mason later on down the road, and he came to me one day and he was like, "Okay, I want to start a band. These are the people I know that can play music. They just happen to be, my best friends." And I was like, "That sounds great. Let's do it." And it took a while to get things on the go, but as soon as I started playing with these guys and hanging out with them, I was just like, "You guys are my people." And yeah, it's really stayed this that way. We I mean, I feel like one of the most intimate things you can do, intimate as in, people getting close to each other and sharing emotions, is to play music. And that's why, you don't necessarily have to be friends with your band members, but it really helps.
Mhm. So, from your experience, well, what makes a good friendship and what makes a good romantic relationship?
I think first and foremost, in any relationship, romantic or friend wise, you have to be with people who um, they don't want to change you. They want to listen just as much as they want to share, and the things they listen to, they don't want to judge. So non-judgmental people, but also it's not only just being non-judgmental, but having the same core values. And the most important core values are being kind. You need to be friends with people or in a romantic relationship with people who believe in being kind to everybody, because that's what's going to come out in your friendship and your relationship. You need to be with people who have some alike interests, and that doesn't have to be like you both like cars, you both like a certain type of music. It has to be something like you both enjoy, connecting on a spiritual level, or you like to have a cup of tea and talk, or you like to go to parties or something like that. You have to be with people who really care about um, connecting with you and understanding you. And I find there are a lot of surface level friendships and unfortunately surface level relationships too. But I feel like those are always going to be temporary, because when it comes down to it, the longer lasting friendships and relationships are the ones that, you're connecting heart to heart. You're really seeing each other and you're enjoying each other's company.
Mhm. Yes, I think so too. I cannot recall how many times that I've been disappointed by the fact that some people I go to school with, they just want something on the surface and they do not want to
Yep,
go deeper. And I think that's time you find somebody else. Um,
absolutely.
so Wrong, in essence, is a breakup song, and I wonder to what extent have you listened to previous breakup songs from, say, artists that you like to find inspirations to to write it?
Breakup songs. Um, oh my gosh. I mean, of course, I've listened to a million breakup songs. A lot of good songs are breakup songs at their
Hmm.
core. Um, but you know what? I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, because I think I mentioned to you in a previous interview, I listen to music that's quite different from my music personally.
Hmm.
Um, I like to listen to like blues and 70s rock, which is, there's a lot of breakup songs included in that, but they're not exactly, piano ballads and stuff like that. Not in the same way Wrong is. But one person that I really took inspiration from for this song, not the lyrics, but the melody, was Adele. For a while, I was calling it my Adele song. And I feel like it not only encapsulates a lot of how, she plays the piano in her songs, or, certain melodies go, but just like the emotion that she puts into it, the way her singing kind of flows, and just the overall feel of it. So I really feel like this song's a bit of an Adele song. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. Of course, Someone Like You is a good breakup song from her.
it's a great song. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and as you can see from the video feed, your music taste is quite eclectic. I see Hendrix, I see Bowie, and I presume
Yes.
Death. Yeah, we've talked about this before. Yes. So, why do you find this particular era of music and specifically rock music inspiring to you?
I find it inspiring because it it's all very, like, the 70s was an age of, experimentation. And a big part of that was finding sounds that made you feel good. And that really comes through in the music. A lot of it was, friends getting together and artists coming, into a recording studio to make something that felt amazing to play and amazing to listen to. And I feel like a lot of the guitar solos, or a lot of the harmonies. The harmonies are my favorite. I love layered harmonies. They just they just give you such a good vibe. They really lift you up, even if it's a sad song. And I find, there are artists that do that in today's day and age, but there's always something very special about that era of recording for me.
Mhm. Oh yeah. I'm sure Eric Clapton is one of your influence.
Absolutely. I'm actually learning Layla right now for one of my Berkeley voice courses,
Oh yeah.
um, for Derek and the Dominoes, so which is Clapton's band.
Mhm. I would recommend his the album that he did with a supergroup, Blind Faith, released in '69. That's just a wonderful album.
I think I've definitely heard some tracks off of that one.
Mhm. Yeah, and since you mentioned it, how's the Berkeley program going?
Fantastic. Right now, this semester, I'm just doing a voice course, kind of giving myself a little break. I'm focusing on recording my personal stuff right now. But the last 2 semesters have been amazing. I've gotten to grow so much as an artist, meet so many great people and professors, and I'm really excited to see what the next few semesters hold for me.
Mhm. Yeah. So from your experience as a listener as well as a songwriter, what are some of the components that make a good song?
I feel like, you'll hear it a lot from me. um, Connection and feeling good. So I think a really good song, whether it's the lyrics or the melody or some component of the instrumentals, will really reach out and grab you. So there might be a certain part of it that you'll hear it and you'll go, "Oh my gosh, that's a really cool lyric," and it'll be stuck in your head all day, or a guitar solo or something like that. But it'll make your heart kind of do that like flipping feeling like you're on a roller coaster or something like that, or you're really excited. um and I think, yeah, it's you can replicate it in many ways. That's the beauty of music, is that it's not just one type of music that makes you feel like that. It's something different for everybody. So for some people that might be, metal. For some people that might be classical music. But I think every good song has something that really reaches out and grabs the listener and allows them to connect. I also feel like, to look at the question a little bit differently, for me, a good song that I want to listen to has a really cool bass line and beautiful harmonies. So I personally, when I write a song, a lot of the time I write lyrics first, and then I will add some chords that I think are really fantastic. And then when I record the bass, that's when I'm really getting down to it, because I know a good bass line will add like a much better layer to the song, and harmonies as well. I love to use harmonies in my songs. I feel like a harmony can elevate a song so much and make it sound so beautiful.
Yeah, no, for me as a non-musical technician, I used to believe that a good song is one that delivers a sort of a out-body experience for you, and I think there are certainly songs that do so. I know that a lot of Dead songs and Pink Floyd songs that do that, but some of my favorite songs have always been the one that make me feel like really connected between the soul and the body and the spirit. You could think of songs that makes you want to dance and jump around, and even songs that make you cry, and like metal songs that make you want to hit, bang your head. Those are all the songs that commands your body to do something that you would not normally do, even in a real life situation.
That's really wise. Yeah, I love the way you put that, actually. I Yeah, I really feel like there's so many ways as a musician to connect with a person, and to, yeah, make their body do something, make them dance, make them feel good, make them feel sad. I think a lot of the time music will help you get an emotion out. And people don't think of it that way a lot. Sometimes they'll put on some music and they'll nod their head, or they'll listen to some music at a club and dance. But at the end of the day, when you're doing that, you're putting something out there, you're getting an emotion, but you're also, getting to release something into the world. You're getting to release, your energy when you're dancing, or your sadness when you're listening to a sad song, and you're kind of leaning on the artist with that, and letting some of that out onto the song. So I think it's a really cool thing, because it kind of, you get to take emotions in, and you get to really feel something, but then you also get to put that out there into the world.
Do you prefer music as a private experience or a public experience?
I think for me, I really do prefer it as a public experience. I feel like, I love to write songs on my own. I love to write songs with other people as well, but I love when I write a song on my own, knowing that I'm gonna get to share it with people. at some point, knowing that I'm going to get to go up in front of a crowd and say, here's this song, and then, participate in that mutual exchange of energy with them. For me, I'm getting a lot more familiar with the recording studio and learning to enjoy it a lot more than I used to. But nothing will ever beat live performance for me just because of that connection you get to have with any audience you have, whether it's 5 people or 100.
Right. So, two final quizzes. So any other songs in the works?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't know how much I should say about them. I think I can say whatever I want. I'm the artist. I have just been in the studio the past little while and continuing to be working on 2 songs I have coming out. And these songs are a little bit of a package deal. They're going to be released within, I think, a month of each other. And they're both love songs. They're both fairly happy love songs. And one of them has a very Beatles-esque vibe, which I'm very excited for. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited for people to hear those ones because I feel like the lyrics in them, a lot of people are going to be able to really connect to. One song is a song that I wrote, I believe maybe a year ago when I wasn't seeing anybody at the time. I had actually decided to take a little bit of a break from romantic relationships. And I was actually writing about an experience, a relationship that I hope to have in the future. And that, I just felt like was so pure and loving and that I could see in people around me and that, I looked forward to having myself. And the second song is a song that I've written now that I do have that sort of experience. So it's very vulnerable, but in a different way. And those should be coming out in late June, early July. So that's something else to look out for.
Okay, wonderful. I'm excited to hear them. Okay, so finally, what are your plans for the summer of 2024?
My plans for the summer of 2024. Well, me and my boyfriend are going to Oshiega. I'm really excited about that because I get to see 2 of my favorite artists. I get to see the Smashing Pumpkins and I get to see Hosier,
Mm,
um, and Green Day as well. And there's a whole bunch of other artists. I'd be here all day. But I'm really excited about that. There's also some awesome acts I'm excited to see at George Street Fest here. And also Iceberg Alley Performance Tent. We have so many awesome people and bands coming to play here. So many local bands that are going to be performing, opening for them as well. My friend's band with Violet are opening for the Bare Naked Ladies, so I'm very excited to see that. And then, other than that, I'm hoping to be doing some work and spending my evenings recording some new music, doing performances as much as I physically possibly can, every night if possible, and hanging out and practicing with my band. So I'm really excited for that. I think it's going to be a great summer.
awesome. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much, Becca Bartlett, for joining the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope you have a great summer as well, and I'm sure we'll chat soon.